Hello.
Hey, Armando.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing, Mark?
Oh, pretty good, brother. Oh man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I'm just waiting for my co-host Kenny. He should be on here just 1 minute.
Okay.
So you didn't get you were still at work, right? Still working, huh?
Yeah, I'm on my lunch break right now. Just finished up my lunch and got some time to
Okay.
chat with you, man.
Okay, yeah, we should be good to go in just 1 second here.
Okay.
Hey Ken, how you doing? Can you hear me, Ken?
I got you. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Ken, I wanted to meet Armando Ramos. Call him Mondo. It's my buddy Ken right here.
What's
How you
up,
doing,
Mondo?
Ken?
Good, good.
Hey man, so he working right now, Ken. So we gonna get right into it. I just want to let you know real quick how we met indirectly. So Ken, I'm from Alameda, and it's a good friend of mine, Cliff Mosley. He grew up in Alameda, and then he moved up down south. So when I moved down to San Diego, I was looking for a travel softball team, and I reached out to Cliff, tell me what was going on. My daughter's ready to move to travel softball, and then he turned me on to Armando and his friend, I think Christy or Gomez.
Yeah, Christy Gomez. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
grew
they
up
helped
with
me.
her.
Okay, yeah, they all grew up together. So
Yeah.
they helped me, gave me some information about softball because both their kids, Armando and Christy kids, play softball, and they actually played at the Division 1 level. We'll get into that a little later. But I just want to let you know a little background on how we met, Ken.
All right.
Okay, so hey Armando, we gonna get right into it. Welcome to the Glue, episode 7. Appreciate your time. It's a little something me and Kim been working on. Just decided to highlight, just regular people, and their stories and their relatives and family members. Sometimes the media get caught up on just since a lot talking about celebrities and stuff, but it's a lot of people, a lot of stories. So
Right.
we're gonna start off right now. Obviously, COVID-19 has affected everybody in the whole world on many levels. And so I just want to ask you, like, how has COVID-19 affected pretty much you and your family?
Well, it's this is unprecedented times. This I've never, and I'm sure we can all speak for that. We've never even seen this, and uh, I just it's I've been trying to be cautiously optimistic with all this, and we have. And the family's doing well, thank God. Everybody within my family circle, is doing well. No one's been affected by it that I know of. I mean, I have friends of friends that have been affected by it, but as far as in my circle, thank God, you know what? We've been okay. I've been going through my daily routine and continue working, continue praying up and staying safe.
Well, that's good. So you don't know anyone personally like that has actually got COVID-19?
I do know one person, and he was affected by it, but he's in really good shape for his age, and he ended up having the usual symptoms, but he got over it fairly quickly and without any hospitalization.
Well, that's a blessing right there.
Right. He he went and did the off the grid um uh, remedies, so to speak. Not just going to Rite Aid and getting cough medicine or anything. He went off the grid and did some homeopathic stuff, and uh, he did really well. He did really well through it.
Interesting. Do you mean like roots and herbs or teas or something like that, or
Exactly, exactly. Hot teas, herbs. Um, I know he actually even went and bought a water filtration system
oh,
from
okay.
a local vitamin store. So yeah, he kind of went off the grid with just the normal, um, medications that you would take. Yeah, and he, from what I understand, he kind of went through it, had the usual symptoms, didn't have the coughing so much, but did have the sweats, the chills, couldn't keep things down for a few days. Energy level was just at an all-time low for him for a few days. But other than that, he came through. he came through pretty well.
That's awesome.
I've
Another,
I've heard of a couple places out the country that they've been having some good results with herbs and those type of remedies with the COVID.
Yes, I've heard that too.
yeah. I was curious. I was wondering because, even in the beginning of time, before they had CVS's and stuff like that, we all kind of grew up. We're all kind of similar in age. Our parents and stuff always had these little remedies, like, when you get a cut. I remember getting a cobweb, putting it behind your ear, and just always having weird little bottles always in the cabinet, like witch hazel and
Right.
cod liver oil. I remember we used to take shots of that in the wintertime. Growing up in Chicago, that stuff was gross, man. Man,
But it still works to this day.
yeah, but we was never sick though. I mean, I can say never, but fairly healthy. Going out in -degree temperatures, and as a young kid going to school. So I remember those little remedies. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear your friend pull through. So, man, like once again, I'm respecting your time, Armando. I know you got to get back going. So let go ahead right now at this point. Just let us know. Oh, wait a minute, hold on, back one. Is there any? We've been finding out. We've been asking a lot of people about the COVID-19. I just want to back up on that real quick. Do you have a set of pros and cons with this? Because we're finding a lot of people have pros and cons with the COVID. Like some people are saying, like, hey, I never get to see my kids, and now I get to see my, some people got kids, like you got kids in college and stuff like that, and some people and Ken's son play international basketball, and so y'all don't get to see y'all kids every day. so I just wonder if there's some pros and cons in there with this COVID-19.
You know what? I haven't really noticed the pros and cons. Just my kids are in college. The two, they came home obviously, so they're at home, and then my older two, they're just quarantining with their respective. My oldest daughter, she's engaged, so she's staying home with her fiance, and then my son is just got married last year, and I have a grandson. They're just staying safe and quarantining in their apartment.
Okay.
I haven't any pros and cons. No, we make drive-bys, and I'll drop off something to one of my kids, or my grandson will drive by with a McDonald's ice cream or something. But
Yeah.
as far as the cons, not too much. I'm just blessed that everybody's staying well and staying healthy. That's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Word up on that. Ken, you got anything you want to add on that?
Nah.
No. Well, hey, so right now, Mondo, if you don't mind, just go in a little bit. Tell us who you are, where basically, if you don't mind, going back to where you grew up, and how was life growing up as a kid? Anybody inspired you? I'm sure your pops and stuff like that. Tell us a few stories about that, and then get us to where you live right now. And then also, when you're talking about that, we always ask people to tell us about their glue people. The show is called The Glue, which highlights people that kept everything together for you to be where you're at today when things was hard and rough. But that one person, or maybe it was two people, maybe it was three, I don't know, whoever those people were that help you keep things together. And then also a lot of people who come from meager beginnings, humble beginnings. We have people outside of our family that help us. So just go ahead and tell us about that.
Well, I was born and raised in Long Beach, down here, Southern California. I'm 50 years old, 4 kids, beautiful wife, 24 years married. Grew up humble beginnings, had a father. My father, Armando Ramos, was the former 2-time lightweight champion of the world boxer. Alcohol, an addiction, kind of cut his career short, and he's from Long Beach himself. He passed away about going on 11 years. He was a bad dude, man, but you know what? He really instilled a lot of good, positive things within me. But going back to what I'm talking about is I grew up just playing all sports, in Southern California. We did really well. That's how we have our mutual friend with Cliff Mosley. We played high school football together. I'd love to see him get on your show, by the way.
Yes,
He,
I reached out to Cliff, so Cliff. I reached out to him, so hoping to get back to him because he got some. His dad was an awesome person too, and all that.
absolutely good people, good family, military background. They got a good people there. But yeah, I grew up in Long Beach, playing sports, played everything. My sport was football. Played with Cliff at Milliken High School in Long Beach. Um, but really, if the juicy, I guess, anything that would be of any interest to anybody else out there is, my father not only was a professional fighter, but he went through his alcohol and addiction, and he came back out of that in 1981. He started bad boxing against alcohol and drugs, and for the at-risk youth kids, and that's kind of where my journey of how I lived with him in junior high school, and that was back in the early 80s, and went through my journey of my own addictions, my own alcohol and drug addictions through junior high and high school. I was kind of a 14 karat, back then. And, but through my dad, and through and understanding his background and where he was at, he shared some positive things with me. He was tough. It was a lot of tough love growing up, but he did a great job raising me, and I respect the hell out of him. Miss him, great guy. Great guy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you said you went to Lincoln High School in Long Beach, California?
No, Milliken High School. Long
Oh,
Beach
Milliken High School. Okay.
Milliken, yeah.
Other than you and Christy and Cliff, name some big celebrities up out of that high school.
Oh man, you know what? I would think probably before me there was some Olympic athletes. Mike Tully, he was a pole vaulter in the Olympics. Um, wow, as far as football goes, maybe after me, maybe Jason Bell. He played with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
Jason Bell. As a matter of fact, he lived down the street from me. He's a lot younger. He's probably about 10 years younger than me. But yeah, no. They had some good celebrities, big celebrities. Who's that lady? She was a cheerleader for us. She's on that. She's a comedian. She's on that. She was on that Reno 911. I can't think of her
I
name.
remember that show. I remember that show.
Yes, she was. She went there, but no, there's some good people came through there.
Right. Ken, you got anything for Armando? I know Ken down here is a martial art, got background. His dad was it sounded like your dad only on the martial arts side, taking all the kids around and teaching them all that. So Ken, anything you want to elaborate or any questions? I know you're a big time boxing fan, so.
So could you you've been covering that pretty much everything. Could you tell us about, some of the nutritional stuff that boxers go through when they train? Like I'm a martial artist, but I generally believe in I work out, but my eating habits are not that good. But I always believe I would just work out more, you know, if I was eating wrong. So could you tell us, some of the nutritional and dietary supplements that boxers use when training?
Well, it's a difficult scenario because I think each individual athlete is different. Nutritional wise, more people, the more you burn, the better you are. The example of my dad, he didn't have any kind of discipline when it came to that. It was just a scenario that he enjoyed working out, and he enjoyed, running in the sand, running, and he did a lot of partying. So that the discipline part of that was probably a difficult situation for him. That's why it was kind of hard for him to stay at the 135 pound range, and it was taking its toll on him. But nutritional wise, I can go just by myself and say, I have to stay off anything that's because I do have diabetes type 2. I have to stay off, any type of, and any time in my background, I always had to stay away from carbs. Carbs were, to me, uh, was my kryptonite, and I blew up. I even looked at pasta. I looked at spaghetti. I looked at bread, and I blew up. So I think really honestly, the carb scenario, and just working. We never really had back when I was growing up. We didn't have a lot of nutritional supplements. I mean, we had some amino acids. We had some of the Joe Weider products back in the day. But as far as nutrition, I just think it was just the four basic food groups back then. Now it's gotten to a whole nother level of nutrition and what people are eating. But yeah, it was the four basic food groups back then, and trying not to have seconds and thirds and things like that. But for the most part, it was just working out and recognizing your body. I think each and every one of us have gotten to a point in our lives where we know what's good for our bodies and what's not good for our bodies. So I think at a certain point, these kids growing up, and I try to instill that in my kids that no one's putting a gun to your head, putting that burger, putting that donut to your face. So just understanding what's good for you and what's not good for you as far as whatever particular avenue, and especially in the fight game, it, there's some people that are even today that are getting docked, fined, being taken off cards because they don't have the discipline to you know get themselves prepared, whether it be 2 months, 8, 6 weeks, 4 weeks prior to their weigh-in. And so I think it's really just a matter of just the discipline that works for them and each individual's own body.
Yeah, I agree. One thing I noticed about boxing was the first thing I noticed, reason why I didn't want to mess with, because I don't like lifting weights and all that stuff. So I like to play hoop. It was a one sport where if you could be athletic and quick, what I'm saying, you ain't really got to be all up in the weight room and chewing on weights all day. But those dudes is phenomenal shape, man. I do notice that. They jump the rope, push-ups, sit-ups, and just every ounce of their body, they put their body through so much pain. So. Man, so I know it must have been, as a kid growing up watching your dad be a warrior like that, and I can't imagine how much pride you had. It just made you be just so much stronger, I imagine.
Oh yeah, the guy was. I mean, if you ever get a chance to YouTube, thank God for YouTube, because a lot of his fights and a lot of his scraps were on the old 8mm reels, VHS. So I still have all those, but thank God we kind of produced a lot of them to DVDs.
DVD form.
I do have a lot of his fights, but yeah, what can I say about that cat, man? He was just he was a bad dude. He was a bad dude, but a very family orientated man. He if you were a family,
right,
he was doing for you.
So you saying you saying you have now you got it in DVD form where you can actually play it off YouTube and all that?
Well, a lot, not just me, but a lot of people have posted his.
Okay, so we go. So where can we? Is anybody you want to plug? In your local community, Mondo. You're a local Long Beach guy. First of all, can you real quickly? We're gonna move on because I know you got to get back, but tell us about. We bring people on here, and one of the things we want to really try to give people a chance to understand what their community look like, not the whole freaking world, but where you live, where your kids grew up. If someone came into your community, what could they expect? What kind of people are they going to approach them? What is the demographics? How far are they from the beach? Are the schools really pleasant? Do they have to really watch out? It's kind of tough criminal neighborhood. I mean, you could be honest. What is your neighborhood looking like?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's changed probably in the last 5 years, but I've lived on the east side of Long Beach for about 25 years.
Is that where Snoop from?
I actually, this is my claim to fame as well, I actually went to junior high school with Snoop. He's a couple years younger than me. We went to Marshall Junior High in Long Beach together. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you something, man. He was a punk kid back then, man, skinny. He probably weighed about 115, 20 pounds back in junior high, mind you. But uh, him and I weren't like, friends, but we grew up and we knew the same people. We grew up and hung out with the same people and did sports within the same people in the same community. But
So
I'm
so
glad.
so where's Long Beach Poly in relation to Milliken? Are y'all close by each other?
No, Polly is downtown Long Beach and over here on the side. So you're looking at about 20 minutes away.
Okay.
About 20 minutes. It's about probably 12, 15 miles. Probably 12, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, Long Beach is, the one thing I love about Long Beach, and I'm always going to plug Long Beach, is I love it for its diversity. You can go one part of town and it can be a rough part of town. You can go to the ocean and go down Ocean Boulevard and just see the beautiful condominiums they're putting up in downtown and just a beautiful ocean view. uh, it was always a good community, but that has been in turn the problem is that now they're pushing all the homeless because of all the building they've done in downtown Long Beach and right there off the ocean. They're just kind of pushing the homeless. You've seen a lot of mental health patients. A lot of people are being pushed towards um, east side, west side, and more centralized, and it's gotten a little bit more rougher, but it's my hometown. I mean, it's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful city. I shouldn't even say town. We got what, 4 high schools, beautiful parks. Um, it's still my hometown. I
Word
have
up.
to say that, I'm born and raised. I mean, literally born and raised. My kids literally born and raised in Long Beach. So,
Right.
um, it's such diversity and if you like culture, if you like art, you can get that too. You get plenty of just the diversity of it. It's just a big melting pot of a city, and it's good people.
How much is the rent?
That's
Like
awesome, man.
studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom apartments, or housing?
Oh shoot, man, oh man, it's a little expensive. I know my son pays for him. They got a 1 bedroom. They just got a 1 bedroom on over not too far from Poly, but maybe about 5 miles from Poly. Um, they're paying like, and they got a 1 bedroom. They're paying close to 2,000 for a 1 bedroom.
Man. Woo.
Yeah, but it's big. It's big and nice. But yeah. So at the end of it, it depends. If you go downtown, you're gonna find it a little bit
Of
less
course.
expensive.
Naturally. Right.
You get towards the ocean, and you're gonna be spending a lot more. Um, but houses for rent in my neighborhood, they're going anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 a month. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, man, I never really been in Long Beach, but I think one time I went through there, but not spent too much time through there. So I was curious, man, because I always heard good things about it because I knew it was military, and I knew because I grew up in Alameda, military. Well, actually, anybody who grew up in the Bay Area in the '80s grew up in a military town because we had the Oakland Army base, Navy base per city, all that stuff was all lit up, and when Clinton came in office, they started shutting it down. So, hey, now this part right here, so Mondo, just to go back. So obviously your dad was a glue person in your household, and who did you say who was outside your household was a glue person, or?
Well, I have so many glue persons. I mean, this is a great forum, and I appreciate you and your efforts and your colleagues' efforts here to put out people that are doing it, man, that are doing it in a positive way, that we're not gazillionaire sports athletes or influencers on Instagram or anything like that. Just real people doing it right.
Thank you, Mondo.
And I've had so many coaches, so many. Um, I used to be, I'm a only child. Didn't have any brothers and sisters, and went through a lot of and seen a lot of craziness with the alcohol and drug addiction with my pops and my mom and that divorce thing and all that. So I had to have an outlet, right? So that outlet was sports. That outlet was positive people. After school programs in Long Beach was huge. Always playing after school until it was time for me to go home and do whatever. So after school programs. So I had a lot of influencers on my life that set the tone for me. Um, Before I moved in with my father in junior high, I lived with my mother and my grandfather. My grandfather was a military man himself and World War II veteran, and
Wow.
he instilled a lot of discipline in me. Um, the value of discipline and time and being on time, and shared a lot with me. So, outside there would be a good handful of coaches and people that took their time with me to understand, and they kind of knew who I was because of my dad, but they also knew that my scenario, just because of who my dad was, I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, so to speak. You know what I mean? Growing up, so they always helped me and guided me through. I had um, a PE coach in junior high school that was just, he's the one that caught me on the road to playing football and took me to tournaments and played flag football back then and took me to tournaments and my mom didn't have the money and took paid for my way in these tournaments and paid for a lot of my cleats, my things that my mom at that time could not afford, um, and brought me into his family and let me spend the night, the weekend over there with his son and his daughter and allowed me to be part of that. So there are good people out there doing some positive things, but I would have to say my coach in junior high school for sure.
Absolutely. That's
Gordy Schuler, if you're listening to this, shout out to you, man. You're one hell of a
dope.
man.
That's dope right there. And that's
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get at is that I mean, for you to even be sitting in your car and being successful and having a family and putting kids in college, people think that it's just one person. Man, it takes a whole bunch of people to really to influence one person just to get over the top. It don't matter how much. Man, let's just cut through the chase. Man, we know a whole bunch of people who came from good homes. Their parents were good, hardworking people, but their kids was knuckleheads. So
right.
at some point, it goes back to you. But if you can be driven, but the importance of glue people is that they can get you over the hump.
Right.
They can get you over the hump. So that's why I want to highlight these folks. But let me move on. Ken, you want anything you want? I'm going to move on real quick. I was going to get one more thing, but if you got something, Ken, go ahead.
Well, Armando, plug your glue business. So uh, it's the plug where you talk about either your business or a business in your community that you want to put out here on our forum.
A business in the community. Wow. There's so many of them, but I would if I'm gonna plug anything, it would be any of the Long Beach, especially the Long Beach after school programs that are helping these kids. Love. We do have a lot of sports within our community, within our schools and within our parks. I guess it would be the Hartwell and the Long Beach softball leagues, baseball leagues there, and they really help out. And I didn't know anything about softball, and I ended up coaching my kids for a lot of years. And there was a flyer one day that my one daughter, Angelique, or we call her Cheeks, she goes to the University of Hawaii. Um, she brought home and there it just happened from there. I saw the flyer, didn't know anything about softball, and just came in there. And the Long Beach Parks and Rec Leagues shared with it in a positive way, and I definitely got hooked up on that. And I was coaching softball, and I've been coaching it the last 15 years. Um, and But as far as any sort of business, I, I mean, there's so much positiveness. There's a plethora of businesses and things that are doing positive things within the Long Beach community that, right, really offhand, I wouldn't know, but plenty of good positive businesses out there doing that. But the Park and Rec League is what really got us started. Long Beach Park and Rec League is a positive thing, and I'll give them a shout out because all my kids kind of went through that, and I got the opportunity to coach them and do some positive things with them.
All right.
All right, that's all. It's amazing how many people wouldn't be here about those parks and recreation departments, man. I just
Tell
can't.
you something, those, you know what? If anybody, if the money's, I'm hoping some government people are listening to. You know what? Park and rec leagues, and especially for the inner city, but for everybody, park and rec leagues are the biggest. That's the biggest outlet in a positive way for our youth. Uh, to be taken care of like that, to be mentored, to be um, to be shown the positiveness of sports, whether they pursue it in college or high school or wherever it may be. It's just park and rec leagues. We need to keep these park and rec leagues funded, however it may be. Just keep them funded and keep it going because that's the future.
That's the
It's got to
future.
start with the kids. Our future is the kids, right? Is
Yes,
Yes.
our
sir.
kids, and it has to start there. It doesn't start anywhere else. It starts there. And a big shout out to not just Long Beach Park and Rec, but all the park and rec leagues within the United States. We need to keep those available to these kids that don't have an avenue, especially when they're dealing with parents of divorce and parents of addiction, parents of alcoholism, parents of whatever it may be that they're having to deal with. It may not have the finances to help themselves and get into organized leagues where Park and Rec they accept everybody, and you might just get a
Right.
shirt
Right.
instead of you might get just a shirt instead of a 150 $200 organized league, but you're still going to be mentored and guided in a positive way, and that's what we got to keep that going.
That's real. That's real.
Hmm.
Man, Mondo, that's deep, man. We getting down. We almost out of here. I got a couple more things I want to touch upon. So you kind of went to it already. Your daughter played University of Hawaii. I think a lot of people are curious to what's going on. So if you don't mind walking us through Cheek's career at University of Hawaii, you can skip a few things, but what I really want you to highlight is the recruiting process. How did the people treat your daughter through the process at the University of Hawaii? And did they back it up when you went and visit? Because sometimes when you can speak on this when they recruiting your kid because your son played at Weber State and they say, oh man, I'm gonna take your kid, I'm gonna take care of him, I'll make sure to be eating right, I'll make sure everything's squared away. And then you fly out to Weber State or you fly out to Hawaii and your kid eating top ramen. And you're like, well, coach told me you was gonna be good. I mean, you kind of almost trust these people with your kids, even though your kid's supposed to call you anyway. But you would think the coach would call you and go like, man, Davey Cheeks ain't eating, and I don't know what's going on. I send food over there, but when I go by there, they ain't got no food. So let me know how that is, and then at the end, let people know about the NCAA and what they're handling with the eligibility, who get to stay one more year, and some conferences saying no, you can't go. And so go ahead and pick it up right there for us for a second.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say I'm proud of all my kids. 3 out of 4 of them went to college. My oldest daughter, real quick, shout out to Brittany. My oldest daughter went to San Jose State. Uh,
Spartans.
yeah, she's Spartan alum. She's a director of corporate strategy for the Los Angeles Rams. So she's
Nice.
really well. She's doing really well. I'm proud of that kid. Um, my son went to diesel mechanic school and he's doing real well diesel mechanic wise and raising his family.
Ken,
Doing
Ken, Ken, auto shop. They go that auto shop again, Ken.
You talking about auto shop?
auto shop. um, and then I want to say to my youngest, before I get into Cheek, because I know you do want to get into that, but my youngest daughter, she just committed to Newman University,
I
and
saw that. Yeah.
Newman University. She's going to go through nursing there, and she's gonna be out. She can be heading out in August. So I'm super proud of her, man. She's doing it, man. She's super academic, and I'm super proud of her. But with Cheeks was, she was just, going back to what we were saying. We did the park and rec, then we did the organized league, and then we did the travel ball leagues, and I coached her up until probably she was about 14, and she committed to the University of Hawaii her sophomore year in high school. 2016, she graduated, did really well. She had all the accolades in high school, all state, all the accolades that you can want. Um, and 2017, she went in there freshman year at University of Hawaii. She she became freshman player of the year for the Big West division, Big West Conference. Did really well. And 2018, struggled struggled. I'm going to be real, struggled. And the reason why she struggled is because internally, the coaching staff at that point um, uh, wanted her to move into a different dorm where there were three other roommate situations. And I'm sure if anybody, y'all know that that's
Mm-mm.
kind of the biggest hump of when these kids are in college. That's the biggest hump of being at college and being a student athlete, is your living conditions and who you're living with.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
um, her sophomore year, her her backup, because she's the starting shortstop, my daughter was, her backup was her roommate. And I'm not gonna make judgment on whether it was a poor judgment on my daughter's decision to have that dynamic and live with that dynamic, but it ended up biting her in the ass. Let's just say, and it was a struggle. That year was a struggle for her sophomore year. Junior year, she did well. They transitioned her to the second base. She did really well. Honorable mention, Big West honors, and then this last year, this COVID-19 year, which was a half a year, she did really well. She transitioned to third base, which is her original position that she was recruited as, and she was just getting ready to blow up. She had a grand slam early
Yeah,
on.
yeah. I saw her hit her right. She was on fire right before COVID hit.
Oh yeah, she was. And she's studying kinesiology. Studying kinesiology. She wants to get into some sort of physical therapy, and I think she's kind of going off maybe the chiropractic thing right now. Um,
Okay.
she's not real 100% sure, but with this COVID-19, obviously everything got cut short. Um, Barely a half a season. But the positive part with that whole situation was there was only two seniors, her and another girl. And the other girl is one hell of a player as well. So they the NCAA made that ruling of, okay, we can make these student athletes that were seniors, the so-called red shirt or super senior years, but we're going to leave it up to the individual institution to fund these super senior years. So there's some really big time schools. Wisconsin, doesn't any spring sport senior, they're done. They did not fund anything for
Correct.
these seniors. So it was, they left it up to the university and her coach. Um, Speaking of this, her coach called her a couple weeks ago to confirm with her that she's, they want her back, and her scholarship will remain in place, you know,
That's
uh,
what's up.
next year. So
Oh,
thank
that's good.
God, just appreciating that, and hopefully she'll do some big things again come this next spring.
Hmm. Man, Mondo, you have a very, 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 very successful flock of kids there, man. You and your
Oh man,
wife did a
you
good
know what?
job, man. Y'all did a good job.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest with you, Mark. Hey, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I wouldn't be here anyways. But I'm I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to my wife, who's put up with my crap for 24 years. Uh,
Mm.
you know, I'm just thankful. I'm very blessed and thankful. I'm a longshoreman. been doing it for a little over 28 years now. And, you know, and as an essential worker down here, I'm just thankful that, you know, knock on wood, I've been healthy, been able to keep my job, been able to
Yeah.
keep pumping for my family, stay on my same routine. Obviously, we're masked up and putting the gloves on and doing our thing, trying to make sure that everybody gets their product, essentially. But yeah, man, I'm blessed, Mark, and there's millions of people out there that need to have a voice, and I appreciate your forum, man, and you know, everything that you're doing in a positive
I
way, putting out
appreciate
there
that.
that aren't in that aren't influencers, that aren't, you know, money millionaires and on Instagram and all this other, you know, billionaire athlete. We're just regular people, but regular people are the heroes, man. You know,
Absolutely.
it takes somebody Monday through Friday going to work and being a positive influence on your kids and being a positive influence on your community. That's what a man's about right there. That's what it takes on. That's what a real man does. That's a hero to me. That's a glue hero to me, is somebody out there that's doing it the right way. We all gonna make mistakes, man. I make mistakes. You made mistakes, but you know what? Got to learn from your mistakes and move forward in a positive way.
Amen. Ken, you anything you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we from the area that we're from, we didn't gratify somebody because of their pocketbook or their status. It was, I knew a lot of rich people that were jerks or assholes that I wasn't fool with at all. I didn't care. Your money didn't have nothing to do with me. It was all about the person. So we try to
Right.
bring people that are good people. We don't care about your bank account or how many followers you got or this, that, or the other. You know, that's why it's called the glue, because this is the people that hold it together.
Absolutely, man. You guys are doing a great thing, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. And like I said, hopefully you get Cliff on here, man.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
talk
Hey,
to, man.
hey,
Chris,
Mondo. Hey,
man.
Mondo. Yeah, we get him on here. Hey, Mondo. So real quick, just for fun, you two, Kim, we'll get both of y'all right here. So y'all both, I know y'all both outdoors and y'all like nature. So I'm gonna throw this little part in the show at the end, and we'll wrap it up. It's a little trivia. So I chose animal trivia for you cats because y'all are outdoor guys. Y'all like the barbecue and go out, be at the beach and camping and Ken, I know you like to do your little hikes and everything. So I dug up some questions real quick. Only got 2 or 3 of them. So here's one of them. Name the slowest animal in the world. And I'm going to give you 4 choices.
Sloth.
The snail, the monarch butterfly, or the 3-2 sloth.
The sloth.
The sloth?
Yeah.
All right, Ken, you got me. All right, you got the sloth. All right, here go another one.
I've never even heard of a sloth, to be honest with you.
You never heard of sloth? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, they slow. I knew that
Like
was
a
going to be an
monkey
easy
type
one.
creature that moves super slow. Like
Super
Oh,
every
slow,
okay.
move,
Mondo.
like it moves
Okay.
like
I was gonna go with
Okay.
snail. That's the only one I knew.
I know. That's what I was going to go with. So here we go. One more. Which animal has the highest blood pressure? Here we go. A lion, a shark, a giraffe, or an ant?
I'm gonna go with giraffe, but that's just a guess.
Mondo?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm a, you know what? I'm gonna go off the grid on this one. I'm gonna go with a lion.
Man, that's what me, Mondo, we have to go back to nature school because we wrong. Ken is 2 for 2, giraffe. They said because his head's so high up that you got to work hard to get the blood all the way up.
Oh,
Something
okay. So
about
you're going to school
the
right now.
blood works harder
You're going to school.
because
Okay.
you got the long neck.
Okay.
So that's why you got high blood pressure.
I know it makes sense. It makes sense.
You pick animals. You on my
Yeah.
subject, man. I'm a nature dude. I watch it. If I'm flicking through the
All
channel,
right. So here you go.
the
All
show,
right.
I stop and watch.
All right. One more. All right. All right. Here we go. One more. Which animal do not sleep? The hippo, the ostrich, the bullfrog, or the rhino? They don't sleep.
I'm gonna pass to KP on this since he.
um,
Come on, Ken.
I'm gonna say the rhino.
And you'd have been. It's the
Bridge.
bullfrog.
Not
Bullfrog.
The bullfrog. The bullfrog is a beast. You might not think they're a beast, but a bullfrog is a beast.
Hey, man, Mondo. Hey, man, thanks a lot for coming on, Mondo. I really appreciate it. Ken, thank you for your time, Mondo. We're going to try to get Cliff on. Man, amazing stories. I mean, your dad was an amazing man. And we're going to send me, yeah, we're gonna try to run some of his fights on here. Maybe you can send me a fight and I'll run it as a show. Bring you on and we can narrate it. We can stop it, talk about it.
Mondo Ramos versus Sugar Ramos.
Okay.
The top 100 fight, Boxing Illustrated. It was like they put it like at 75 or whatever top fight of Boxing Illustrated. But you watch that. If you got nothing but time on your hands, go watch that fight. It's on YouTube. Mondo Ramos versus Sugar Ramos. Next time I come on, you let me know how you enjoyed that fight, because you're gonna be like, man, that was a war.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
My dad got the decision, and I think he clearly won it, but it was just a split decision. But I'm gonna tell you something. You'll be highly entertained if you guys love the fight game. You love to see fighting basically in a phone booth. You guys will really enjoy that fight. Mondo Ramos versus Sugar Ramos, man. Enjoy it. My shout out to my pops, man. Shout out to Mondo Ramos. Love you, pops. All right, man. I appreciate you guys.
All right, man. Hey, y'all be safe, man. Enjoy your day, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, you guys have a blessed one.
Peace.
One love.